inside with fire bricks. Brockman recommends taking a peek at them and replacing any bricks that are cracked or deteriorated. Find more tips for wood stove maintenance at livingthecountrylife.com. I'll see you in the country.
Living the Country Life. Ideas and inspiration for your place in the country. You can find more information on today's topic, share your tips, and post photos by visiting us online at livingthecountrylife.com.
Today's Daily Encouragement by William the Encourager, sponsored by Ted Russell Nissan, home of the lifetime warranty on Kingston Pike.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, and let's just praise the Lord. First and foremost, let's pray. Father, we thank you for this Monday. We thank you for waking us up clothed and in our right minds. Father, we thank you for your goodness, your mercy, your grace. We thank you for your provision that you give us on a daily basis. And thank you that your mercies are made new every day. So we give you the glory, the honor, and the praise. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. You know, we're going to talk about what it means to do not fear. You know, and we need to understand this. Fear is a natural response to challenges or the unknown. It's an emotion that serves a valuable purpose. Think flight or fight response. But it can quickly become unhealthy when it paralyzes us or propels us into frantic behavior. Negative outcomes aside, the Bible actually commands us not to be afraid. In fact, there are over 300 variations of the command to fear not throughout scriptures. And as we all know, 2 Timothy 1:7 says, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind." So my brothers and sisters, let's remember that. God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power. When you think of that power, God gives you the power to overcome the enemy. God gives you the power to overcome those negative self-thoughts and those rambling going on about this is going to happen, that is going to happen. The Bible tells us to be anxious for nothing. So God has given us a spirit of power and of love, to love ourselves, to love others, and self-control. We can control those thoughts. We just have to take authority over them and cast them out. You know, fear, the acronym FEAR, false evidence appearing real. God has not given you that spirit of fear, but he has given you the spirit of power and love and of a sound mind. Fear, my friends, is a liar. And we're going to talk about that all week. Fear is a liar. Rudyard Kipling said, "Of all the liars in the world, sometimes the worst are our own fears." Be careful what your mind tells you, because we can think things that are not true. But you know, on this Monday morning, brothers and sisters, you can stand on the promises of God. You can stand. You know, Oswald Chambers said, the remarkable thing about God is that when you fear God, you fear nothing else. Whereas if you do not fear God, you fear everything else. So let's fear God. Let's have a godly fear and a godly reverence for him. And then you don't have to worry about anything else knocking you off your square or anything else causing you to run, because you don't have to. Remember, we can do all things through Christ, which strengthens us. You know, you have to choose what you believe, because fear has two meanings. Forget everything and run, or face everything and rise. This is your choice. So today I choose to face everything and rise, because God has the final say-so on what happens to you in your life. So let's seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added unto us, my brothers and sisters. God don't want us to fear. He wants us to have faith. Let your faith be bigger than your fears, and that way you will know that Jesus Christ is Lord. Remember, there's a way out of your mess, and it's JESUS.
Where can you buy a brand new Nissan with a lifetime warranty? Kingston Pike. Hey, folks, you're listening with Ted Russell Nissan. You heard it right. Every new Ted Russell Nissan comes with a lifetime warranty, and that's a long, long time. Ted Russell Nissan on Kingston Pike.
Good morning and welcome to AM 1380 WYSH and Ask Your Neighbor. Ask Your Neighbor can also be heard and seen on our website, WYSHradio.com. And if you are in Anderson, Rome, or Morgan County and have Comcast cable, you can watch Ask Your Neighbor on BBB TV Channel 12. Ask Your Neighbor is the program where you call in and do just that. Ask Your Neighbor. Do you have a comment? Do you have a problem? Or do you have a question? Then call in and ask your neighbor. 865-457-1380 or toll free at 877-711-4005. And for those of you that might be listening or watching on the internet, you can email from our website, WYSHradio.com. Just click on the Contact Us button and email your questions. Now sit back and listen as listeners throughout East Tennessee and the entire world answer your questions on Ask Your Neighbor on BBB TV 12 and AM 1380 WYSH.
Good morning, everybody. It's the third Monday of the month. That means it's Queener's Corner. David Queener is in here with us live and in living color. Good morning, Mr. Queener. How are you, Dave?
Doing good. Good morning, Mike Hendricks. Get up. It's time to get out of bed. Get up.
You think you can get him up and
No,
rock?
he ain't getting up. He's probably asleep right now. I thought I'd give him a big shout out there. He's always on me about something, so let's see if we can get him up.
Make sure you got your mic in. You are now.
Come on. Good morning, Mike Hendricks. Get up. Let's go. Get up there out of bed. Let's
Now
get
we
rolling,
got it.
buddy. Let's get to rolling here.
All right.
Get it going.
It's terrible to just start with it, but let's start with it. Let's start with high school football. Dragons
Man,
had to win that one.
needed to win it.
Needed to
win
win.
it. They still got some tough.
We should have won it.
They still got some tough games on the schedule. You know, if you just look at the schedule, you think, well, where's a win at?
Yeah.
I know you can win any game, but, you know, I think everybody had the Carnes game circled as a game that
Should have won.
should have won, could have won,
Yep.
and
Played good enough to win. We just
played good enough to win, but we're still struggling defensively to stop people
Yep.
and to tackle and do things like that. So we're having trouble there. But offensively, we're
They're
really
clicking.
Offensively, we're clicking, man.
Yep.
So we're doing really good offensively and everything, but defensively we're not clicking very well right now, and you know got to make some changes pretty quick. So
It doesn't get any easier.
no, I don't know who they got this week. I have no idea.
Check and see.
Is it Central? Maybe.
I think so.
Might be Central.
Yep. I think so. I'll find out.
I didn't hear Walter, your son, say Friday night who they had. I didn't listen all the way through to the very end. I listened to the game, but not through the very end
Yep.
of their broadcast. So,
Yeah.
Central.
Knoxville Central High School.
Okay.
Yep.
That's a game they could win. But like I said, you know, the next game on the schedule to win might be Campbell County.
That's the 26th. And then we got West, South Doyle, Powell, and Halls. Phew.
Some tough games right there to try to finish out with. So, you know, let me say this: one win won't get you in the playoffs.
No.
It's going to take multiple wins.
Yeah, we should have had Carnes and Campbell County that we could have kind of banked on this year.
We've got a really good quarterback right now. We got some good receivers. We got some, we got some really offensively. You know, if you grade us, you give us a really good grade. Defensively, if you grade us, you give us a failing grade, and we're just not playing. And I'm sure those guys are coaching as hard as they can coach. And
Sure.
But we're struggling right now. So, but maybe they'll get the Dragon White back on track.
If they get defense just tuned up, if we can just get defense tuned up a little bit, offense is, carrying a lot of water. If defense can just hold a couple of series.
Well, we make some, you miss a tackle here or there, and then you have a penalty, and, you give up 5 yards on a missed tackle maybe, or 10, And next thing you know, you got a 15-yard penalty, and that one play's went into 30 yards.
Yeah.
So you can't win like that, and you're not going to win like that.
No.
Just me, and everybody could say, well, who are you? And just a guy that likes football and has watched a lot of it. So you got to, the basics, things you do is teach how to tackle and how to block and things like that. That's just, if those kids have been playing since Optimus Club, I'm sure if Weston Hazelhurst was sitting here beside me, he'd tell us, yeah, we're teaching them how to block and tackle.
Sure.
That's just part of the game.
Yep.
Yeah, it's part of the game. So, like I said, we'll just keep digging, and you can run off. You get it. You win one, and you can win. If you win one, you can win two.
Sure.
And maybe if you win one or two, you win three.
Well, I mean,
listen, there's some winnable games on there. Yeah. Halls is very winnable. I don't know if Halls still yet's won a game.
Yep, Halls, Campbell County for sure.
Those are two games right. There's two games right there.
Yeah.
Central's been up and down. They'll have to play really well at Central to win that game. But that's a winnable game. That's a winnable game too. So they just need to quit worrying about playoffs and just go out and win the first game. You can't go to the playoff. You cannot go to the playoffs if you don't start winning.
Yeah, it ain't going to matter. Yeah.
It ain't going to matter. It's not going to matter. You got to win games. So let's go win a game Friday night. It doesn't really matter how we win it. It doesn't matter if it's ugly. It really doesn't matter if it's 3-2. And we'll go win it. Just go win the game.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter if there's 50 penalties or none. I prefer none, but go win the game. And start there, and then build from there. And I think everything will be okay.
We all knew it was going to be uphill, but I kind of had this one checked as one, even if it was a tough season that we were going to come to.
I think everybody did. I didn't talk after I hung up with you Friday. I didn't talk to anybody that didn't think Clinton had a really good chance of winning Friday.
Yeah,
and they thought they'd win pretty handily. So turned out to be otherwise.
Yep, it did. Speaking of otherwise, same thing, University of Tennessee. If they'd have hit the field goal, you'd have got it right. You predicted Tennessee by 3. I was waiting to call you, and then we missed. So
I told my wife, you've got a kicker that's never done this.
Yep.
And he's going to be a good kicker. And he is a good kicker.
Yeah.
And the Tennessee's own coaching staff froze him out. We froze our own kid.
We kept going back out there and running one more play.
Bring him over. Get him over here. Run one more play. I would have lined up and let him kick it. Because what was the worst thing that could have happened? What happened?
Yeah, we missed and kept going.
He might have drilled that thing.
Yeah.
But he didn't. And then we choked up, and we let Georgia slip out of Knoxville with a win.
James David was at the game. He was not happy. He was texting me. I said, well, I'm glad I'm here. I was watching it at the Treehouse. So
Treehouse.
I was glad I didn't fight the traffic and all of that for that game. I would have been, as were 102,000 people, very disappointed.
Well, I got up and watched College Game Day Saturday. I seen College Game Day, and
me too.
Watched that. I mean, it looked like the crowd was really good, and a really big crowd, and that's all good. So, Tennessee just needs to.
We should have won that one. Even Kirby Smart said we deserved to win that one. We should have. Our kicker should have hit it, and we should have won that one.
Like I said, but I think we froze our own kicker out.
We did.
You can blame it on whoever you want to blame it on, really. But let's just be honest, though, too. We shouldn't have been in that position for him to have to kick a game-winning field goal.
No.
We should have been ahead anyway.
We came out and showed that we could do it. I mean, we executed perfect. The defense played good.
Great first quarter.
Yeah.
Terrible second quarter. And then we went into Josh Heupel mode.
Yeah.
Trying to just, play to not lose the game, instead of going out and playing like we did in the first quarter. I really don't understand Hop.
I
think he's a really good football coach. I don't understand his theory behind things, though.
He pulled the foot off the gas.
I think he takes it off and taps the brake a little bit.
I don't know what happened. It just looked like a different team came out. You know, we were executing perfectly, everything's good, and then we can't do anything. So it's like, what happened?
Well, I know the other team gets a chance to make adjustments.
Yeah, they adjust up.
Adjust up, but are we not adjusting up too?
You would think.
Huh?
You would think we'd have the same opportunity to adjust to whatever they're doing. So, I mean, I expected them to adjust after the second quarter or second half. I didn't necessarily expect it to fall off after the first quarter. I figured they'd go in at halftime and find an answer for Tennessee. I didn't figure they were going to go to the sideline and come back and find an answer.
Buddy, I tell you who really looks good, and I hate to say this, but Alabama looks really good right now.
Mm-hmm.
Even after taking that first loss, they look real good.
Yeah. They're
clicking right now, man. They got some whew.
And you know what? We have to go to the Swamp, play Florida, and I know it's not the same Florida, but you know what? That's going to be a game. It always is. And it's in the Swamp. And after we've lost to Georgia, that invigorates Florida for the East. You know, if they take us out, they're still in the running in the East, you know. We'll see.
Yeah, Florida's really struggling right now.
Terribly.
Yeah, their coach is in some hot water down there. They might be trying to have to figure out how to buy his contract out.
I think they will. But it just seems like every time we can nail that one down as a win, it sneaks up on us. So I'm not clocking that one in as a win yet.
That's some place that you don't want to have to go, to have a win.
Yeah.
Is to go to Florida and have to have a win. And then we'll have to go to Tuscaloosa or wherever it's at. We'll have to go to Alabama to play Alabama. And like I said, Alabama looks really good right now. But I think the surprising team right now, to me anyway, is Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt. I knew you were going to say that. I was listening to some of the commentators. They don't seem quite as surprised as folks here in the SEC might be. But yeah, Vanderbilt's playing great football right now. Very good football. And
it's hard to say.
They're going to be tough to, it's always tough, but it's going to be even tougher. Although they come up here this year, don't they? Yep.
Yeah, I think so.
They do.
Yeah.
So I'm not. I mean, I'm worried about them, but I'm not that worried about them. I've still got.
And I always worry about when Tennessee has to play Kentucky. It doesn't really matter what kind of team. Vanderbilt and Kentucky, it doesn't really matter for 0-10.
Yeah.
They always play Tennessee like they're 10-0.
Yeah.
And that's a tough game for Tennessee is Kentucky, and that's another coach that's on the hot seat, and it's pretty hot on Stoops up in Kentucky. Even though he's done a pretty good job up there, I don't know what people want. They've got a not bad football program at a basketball school.
Yeah, no,
I mean, you know what?
It's about the best they've had that I can remember.
Yeah, he's done a good job, but people's always wanting more, and.
Yeah, but I remember a time when Kentucky wasn't even considered. I mean, they're considered in every game now. You know what I mean? They were just kind of a
Vandy.
Yeah, Vandy's the same way.
Same way. You wiped your feet on Vanderbilt.
Yep.
And that, it was. You went ahead and marked that up. We'll go down and play a quarter and about a quarter and a half, and we'll get some of our younger kids experience, and we'll use it as like a JV game or something.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. You better not, or you'll go home licking your chops.
Yep.
Yep. You sure will.
Well, so like I said, I think this one was a pivotal game for Tennessee. How did you think we played? I mean, you looked at it. What did you think? Where do you think we were? Where do you think we lost the game?
That's a good question. I think we lost the game because we didn't run the ball very well.
Okay.
We didn't run the ball. We've got three really good running backs.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you can't have three. But you know that old saying about two quarterbacks? Mm-hmm. If you got two, you don't have one.
You don't have one, yeah.
So I'd like to see one of them become a workhorse and then one will just do the relieving. But I don't think our running game was up to snuff. Our throwing game now, our passing game was really good in the first quarter, and it just left. But hey, let's talk about a bad situation the guy's in right now. And Nico,
Oh, Lord.
Goes to UCLA. I don't even like mentioning.
And they fired the coach.
They fired the coach, and they ain't won a game. Now they're talking about, son, you better get out of there.
Now he's like going back into the portal. They're talking about he might go back into the portal. To where?
Who knows? He's not that good.
No, and now that his coach is gone, I mean, I don't know that anybody would want him.
It's called money.
Yeah.
Money is running, Ron Meredith. Money is running college sports.
I agree. I don't think it's going away, though. Once they stick it into the game, I don't know that they'll ever be able to take it, pull it back out and not have any money, not get back to where it was for sure. I think we're stuck with it, like it or not. I don't think it's going anywhere.
Look at what these kids are getting.
I know.
These kids are getting an education, even though people are saying, well, an education don't mean as much as it used to. I don't know whether it does or not, but I think it's what you make of it. I think it's what you make of it. It'd be nice to have that big certificate hanging on a wall somewhere and say, I'm a graduate from the University of Tennessee or wherever. But they get room and board.
Yeah.
They get fed. Mm-hmm. And now we're going to give them $600,000-$700,000 a year, some of them, to play college football.
Sounds like.
Or we're going to give them a new car.
Maybe.
On a Bentley or whatever that Nico wanted, that car he wanted, that they said
Bugatti,
whatever it was way up there in price. And, he just got some family. His family got involved, and they got money hungry.
Evidently.
They wanted more money.
Yeah, they've shot the golden goose. Tennessee, we were providing him a whole lot of money, a whole lot more than he's got now and going to get if he leaves. I don't know if he can leave. I don't know who'd want him.
So you said, you had a really good question. Where does he go?
Yeah.
Be an interesting situation to watch in the next weeks. Does he stay at UCLA and ride it out and maybe doesn't win a game out there? Well, I bet he's regretting it now.
I bet he is.
Bet his family's regretting it.
No kidding. He's went from good to bad. His play here wasn't perfect, but the team was good. The team was expected to be good with him. So he's went from a good situation to not just a situation in work, a work in progress, which is what it was when he got there, but now they fired the coach. It's not even a work in progress anymore. Now it's just a big mess that he's right in the middle of.
It's what it is.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. You learn from your mistakes, they say.
Well, this is one.
It was a costly one, wasn't it?
That's a costly one. You would think that there would have been something in the air if the coach's position was on the line with another bad season. You'd have thought that they would have taken it. That would have been something in consideration before you left and went.
They always say that hurts recruiting.
Yeah.
A coach is in the last year of a contract and hadn't been extended yet, and there's talk that he's going to be let go. That always they always say that's bad for recruiting. I guess it wasn't for Nico. He wanted to go on. I don't know. I think he was promised a lot of things, and then when he got in it, then they just didn't come through, and he had to settle for whatever he could settle for then.
Well, sure.
And
he didn't leave thinking it was going to be a lot worse. He had to at least think it was going to be better.
So the difference of $500,000, that's a lot of money.
Well, yeah.
It is to me, anyway.
Well, sure.
And it probably is to most people that me and you know.
Yeah.
So, to lose $500,000 right off the bat and what he was doing at Tennessee, my question is this, and I've not ever been a season ticket holder.
Mm-hmm.
I've always been fortunate enough somebody gave me tickets or taking care of me, and, I was able to go to the games if I wanted to go to the games.
Yeah.
When are they gonna? What happens when they can't raise prices no more on tickets? What happens when Ron Meredith is not going to pay $3,000 over and above for season tickets anymore?
I don't know what they're going to do, because the only place they have is raise the required donation or raise the ticket prices. That's it. That's where they generate their revenue. And so,
what happens if a TV contract goes upside down?
And we're going to go back to the days of where we're playing ball without TV. And I don't know that we can survive that with all the money.
Well, see,
it's all money now, you know.
I don't know who you believe here. Or, I don't know who you believe. Everybody always talks about how unstable ESPN is. Always laying people off, always cutting people. But they're always buying stuff. They're always doing things. So, but I don't know. I don't know that I put all my eggs in ESPN.
No.
So,
no.
Talking about might go out of business, might have to file bankruptcy. I mean, I don't know.
Well,
We got a lot on the line. The SEC's got a lot on the line with ESPN.
Well, sure.
So if ESPN goes belly up, and I'm not saying they are, boy, God Almighty.
I don't think they'll go all the way out, but it wouldn't surprise me if they don't do reorganizational bankruptcy. It wouldn't surprise me. I don't know that you or I would notice it.
Done with the NFL, and they just bought a bunch of stuff. It's really. So something interesting.
Okay.
Saturday night, I'd been watching. It's going to be this big fight. Canelo Alvarez, I can't think of his last name. It's Canelo and Bud Crawford.
Okay.
Both of them really good fighters. And they'd been advertising that this thing was going to be on Netflix.
Okay.
So I got Netflix. Okay?
Yeah.
So I thought, well, I'm going to...
You're going to watch a fight.
I watched the pre things up to it, training camp and all that. And then it got closer to it, and I told my wife, I said, I'm going to go up and see how much the fight's going to be tonight on Netflix. Well, I get up there, and it says, to watch, click, and I clicked it. Click. Fight comes on.
Yeah.
So Netflix did not have it as a pay-per-view event.
Okay.
Netflix is
just running it?
Running it.
Okay.
This was a fight that probably would have cost you $89 probably on a pay-per-view.
Yep.
And they had it out in California at a big football stadium, and all these people, and they're changing the way the fight game's going to be, and going to get away from all these pay-per-view events, which I think's great.
That's good.
Because I like to watch boxing.
Yeah.
So I just thought it was weird. Netflix decided to do a big fight, probably one of the biggest fights of the year, and they in charge a dime.
Well, they did the same thing with Mike Tyson and Logan Paul.
And then they've done that with WWE.
Trying to get away from pay-per-view.
Yep.
Well, I mean, Netflix has come along and put a definite hurt on them because they did that with the Tyson fight and Tyson Logan. And that would have been a huge one, too. They did that one on Netflix. So, I mean...
I remember when pay-per-view started out in 1995. And it went $29.95. Then $39, then $59. It just kept getting on up and up.
I remember the days of Dan Childs at Tennessee Cablevision and Brad Linderman and all them. I'd call and I'd have my box upstairs. I was like, I can't get it to come on. Why ain't it coming on? You'd have to call. Yep. Remember, you'd have to call in and buy pay-per-view?
That's right.
I'd call to watch a football game or whatever.
Back in the day.
I'd be all over the phone. I'd be on the phone with Dan. He'd be like, nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong. Yes, it is.
Dan, the cable man.
That's
Dan's
him.
moved on us.
Where'd he go?
He's moved down to...
I saw somebody moved in his house down there where he lived, but I didn't know he'd moved.
To Cleveland.
Cleveland.
He had to be near his son and things down there. And he's down in Cleveland.
Okay.
My son keeps up with him a lot. I hadn't talked to him recently. I need to call and talk to him and get on him a little bit. But he's moved down to Cleveland.
Well, he always stopped by and talked to me if I'm out when he's driving by, and I noticed I hadn't saw him in a while. And then I was over by his house the other day and noticed that there was different cars out there and some kids outside. So I figured he'd sold his...
I might be wrong on what I'm fixing to tell you, but who bought his house lived in one of the condominiums up there.
Gotcha.
And they got some these were grandkids or something. Maybe they had to have a bigger situation. And
Gotcha.
Dan's house just went on the market at the right time, and they just bought it. So that's how that went down. But man, ain't a better guy than Dan Childs.
Nope, he's a good one.
Dan Childs is a really good guy, and I'll be indebted to him forever. He helped us out at the police department on some things, and helped us raise some money to get some things for us to do what we needed to do. And Dan will always go down at the top of the list for me. He's just a really good guy. So I think the world of Dan.
I do too.
I'd do anything for Dan. I really would, and I really mean that too.
Hey, I went, but you talk about swallowing pride. I went to Coach Gene Stallings when he was out west. You know, Dan's a huge Alabama guy.
Oh Lord, yes.
And I met Coach Stallings out there when he was coaching the Cardinals, and got to be pretty good friends with him. And when I came back, I was talking to Dan about something, and he was going on about Alabama. And so I called Coach Stallings and got him to sign him a picture. And he accused me of lying. You don't know him. I said, yes, I do know him. I called him. No, you didn't. You signed this.
Yeah, that sounds like you don't.
No, I didn't sign it, Dan. I got it for you. But I did. I had Coach Stallings sign him a picture in that red jacket. So I had him. When I called, I said, have him send one of his Alabama pictures when he was coaching Bama. So he did. So, but anyway, yeah,
Dan, he's a good. He's a good man. So
he is.
You can't beat Dan. That's well, we go way back talking about Dan and Tennessee
go
Cable
all the way back
Vision.
Tennessee Cablevision, Jim Vines, Jeff Mosier, and all those boys down there.
Yeah, down there. So that goes way back. So, well, I guess we can talk a little local. We can talk a little local.
Let's talk a little local. What do we want to talk about?
Wait a minute. Before we talk local, I want to talk national. Let's talk a little national stuff.
All right.
I don't know too much, and I can't really. You'll have to be the one to lead on this, but this guy that got assassinated, killed, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Charlie what?
Kirk.
I don't really know too much about him. Yes, I have seen him on TV, and yes, I have listened to him debate college kids.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe I'm saying that wrong.
That's it. Perfect.
Is that
perfect.
It?
That's it.
So I really don't know much about him. I didn't know he was very involved in Trump's campaign. I didn't know he was, really respected that way or anything. So I didn't know too much about him. What was your thought about that whole situation?
Well,
first of all, it's a tragedy.
Absolutely.
That some 31-year-old guy's life was taken. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter what. It doesn't really matter what he done.
Nope.
What he was doing politically, what he was doing spiritually or anything. It's a shame that a 31-year-old guy with everything in front of him was cut short.
Absolutely. Well, where he held power, and I think what made people fear the most was that he went right onto college campuses where he felt like kids were being indoctrinated, and then just debated, just talked to them, argued with them, talked to them. And it spread. I don't know if it's because kids were wanting to dialogue, or were they wanting to argue, or they just wanted a new perspective, or I don't know what, but he caught on campuses. And so as we speak today, he's got 3,600 chapters. And then since his death, they've had 18,000 requests to open new chapters on 18,000 more college campuses across the country. I think that, when you look at a young person today, David, and I say 31, that's young, they're not usually focused on the kind of stuff that he was focused on. He was out talking about his faith. He was out talking about conservative values. He was out talking about monogamous lifestyles. He was out talking about, things that usually young kids are, taking advantage of the ignorance of their youth. He was pushing. He was in his 30s, so he's at that age that I guess everybody kind of turns a corner. But he just had a different message. And I think I just think it resonated with young people because, for one, there aren't that many young people that have that message. He went to any and all campuses. He let anybody that wanted to speak. I mean, if you go back and look at some of his stuff, I mean, he was called everything you could ever be called. He let people get up and say whatever they had to say, but he never really argued back. He never lost his cool. And I think just hindsight, people go back and look at that maybe didn't pay attention to him while he was alive, and they think, wow, that was, that was something for him to be able to sit there and just keep his cool and talk to these people, these kids, for hours on the time. I don't know. It's one of those things. He went on to campuses and he started a movement on college campus, just like, the civil rights movement started, just like all kinds of other movements started. He just started what I believe is going to be a resurgence of conservative values. I don't know how far it'll go, but he definitely started it. And I think by shooting him, they just poured gasoline on him. I don't know. But he definitely is a positive figure in our history, in our community. He did nothing bad. It's like everybody said, he didn't vote. He wasn't changing laws, so it wasn't like he was a lawmaker doing things he wanted to do. He just went out and talked to people. He didn't have any power to change anybody besides conversation like you and I are having between each other right now. That's all he took with him, and that's all he used when he talked to people, just the power of debate and persuasion.
I just don't understand people. What gives the people the right, because you've got an opinion, and I'm going to go out here in the parking lot, and I'm going to wait for you to come out, and I'm going to take you.
In my opinion.
Yeah. I'm going to take you out.
David, you've been in law enforcement your entire life. You know the answer to this. There are some people that are just stupid. They're crazy. And there's some people that you can say, I mean, if you spend every waking moment of your life saying Ron Meredith was a danger to our democracy and his very being risks us being enslaved or like Nazi Germany tried to do to us, sooner or later somebody's going to believe you and kill me.
I sat in that office over there, at your office over here.
Mm-hmm.
We've sat in that office over there, and we've argued quite a bit back in the day. Okay?
Mm-hmm. We have.
And 9 times out of 10, I've probably had a pistol on my side.
True.
Okay, and I probably should have went ahead and shot you.
Probably numerous times.
I'm only joking at that. But not one time did it ever cross my mind to pull my gun out and say, Ron, I'm just going to kill you.
Shoot you.
Kill you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to kill you right here. I don't like your opinion that you're for whoever, and I'm not for him.
Yep.
I'm for this person over here.
Yep.
Even though I was the ignorant one on some of those conversations, but that's beside the point. But when are we going to stop killing people?
Well,
when are we going to stop having...
If this don't stop it, it never will.
When are we going to stop having school shootings?
David...
Man, I'm 67 years old, and I'm gonna be honest. I don't think that I'll be around if they ever do stop it. But what we got to do to stop? First of all, just shootings in general. I mean, come on, my God.
Well, for one, our and you and I don't relate to this, but our generation is desensitized. Kids, even people our age, play video games. Get 10 years younger than us, 15 years younger than us, and they play them a lot. Get 25 years younger than us, and 30 years younger than us, 40 years younger than us, and that's all they do. I think, for one, that these constant games desensitize people to killing other people, because that's what they do. You play these first shooter games. That's one thing. I think that's a problem. May not be the whole problem. But then I think you've got fragile people that are out there in the world. I mean, we've got, it says the least of these. Even in the Bible, it says takes care of the least of these. So there are people that are less than, least of these. I don't think that they have the capacity to deal with reality. And so when somebody's telling them Donald Trump or Charlie Kirk or somebody is a threat to the very fabric of this country, if you take that serious, I mean, think about it. If you could go back and David Queener could shoot Hitler between the eyes and stop the killing of 6 million Jews, you'd be a hero. Yeah. Hindsight. So I think people believe that. They believe the rhetoric that both sides are spurting.
So other than a situation like you just used, killing this young man, what are we going to get out of it?
Well, I think he was showing off in front of his he-she boyfriend-girlfriend thing. That's what I think, but I'm getting ready to get in trouble.
First of all, I've tried. let me say this about shooting. I've taken a shot, not at somebody, sighting a deer rifle in.
Sure.
I've taken a shot at trying to sight mine in at about 100 yards forward.
It's a problem.
It is very difficult. I don't care how good you are. I don't care how much you shoot on the range.
You get past 25 yards of me, and it's a hit or miss.
It's a hit or miss. Yeah. You know, they said, well, you're a little high or low. I don't remember which it was. I said, I'll take it. I don't want to do it anymore. Let's go. I'm ready to go, you know. So, but to climb up on a building and to perch yourself up there and to fire that shot, and I don't know where he was aiming. More likely, he was probably not aiming at the throat.
No, he's aiming at his head.
He's aiming at his head, and it dropped on him. And that has to do a little bit with the ammo and the wind and all that. And you got to take all that in. But, man, he's either very lucky or he spent a lot of time on the range, and he's pretty – I'm going to just say he's pretty good.
I think he's a pretty good shot. I think he was a pretty good shot. I think we'll find he practiced. But I think he surprised himself. I don't think he thought he was going to hit him. I thought he would take 2 or 3 shots. He may have hoped he'd hit him, but I don't think he was confident. And just the way you saw him escape trying to get off the roof, he wasn't calm and collected. You could tell he was.
That's what I was going to say. Then to run over, scale down the building, jump on off of it, change clothes, walk through a neighborhood, leave a gun in the woods, and hightail it out of there. I mean, man.
And I mean, you know, he had to have some kind of relatively normal upbringing, just with a father that's 25, 27, 28 years in law enforcement. I mean, you would think that upbringing was on the moral side of things. You know what I mean?
You would think.
Yeah, you would think
that it was.
And his dad is, you know, who turned him in. So obviously that had to be a hard pill to swallow.
Oh man, I can't imagine what that would. You talk about a gut punch.
No kidding.
Knowing you're gonna turn your kid in, knowing he's never coming home again.
No, under no circumstances.
Under no circumstances. He's probably more likely gonna get the death penalty. Well, they say he's more likely gonna try to get the death penalty, but there's some people say it doesn't qualify. In Utah, there's some things. It's one of them. You got to have criteria to get in that it qualifies for the death penalty, and there's different people arguing that it doesn't qualify, even though he did do what he done. So
it's as premeditated as I reckon you could get.
I do too, but apparently out there's some, I don't know, something there's some precursors that you got to get into.
Yeah, Tracy and I were talking the other day, and, you know, we saw the guy on the subway stab and kill that little girl, you know. And that was, Monday? And then Wednesday, I reckon it was, you know, we had this happen, or Thursday, with Charlie Kirk. And Tracy said to me, she said, we're talking about spiritual warfare. And she said, do you think that could be the same spirit, the same demon that was in the guy on the subway that was in him? And I said, absolutely. I mean, whatever it is, whatever mean is in one seems to be shared by the other. I mean, why would you do that? Why would you, I just, like I said, I don't know too much about the guy we're talking about, but I just don't understand that. Go back just when you get senseless. When you're just bored, just Google Charlie Kirk and just look at how he interacted. There was one that I've referenced before where a dad and his son come to talk to him. The son is the conservative. The son looks like he just crawled out of bed out of a rock show. He's long hair. He looks, he's got tattoos, and he like I said, he looks like he just rolled out of bed. So when they came up, you've got this older dad and this kid, and you think the kid's going to be the liberal, the dad's going to be the conservative, and that's what the argument is. But it was just opposite. The kid was the conservative, the dad was the liberal, and the kid's going on hollering at his dad, and they're arguing. And the first thing Kirk says, well, first, that's your dad. Regardless of your opinions, that's your dad. You need to respect and show your dad honor. And we can all sit here and argue, but we're going to do it civilly, And by the time it was over, he had those two talking to each other about their differences politically, and they were agreeing on as much as they came there disagreeing on, which is what he basically did. He would just, I'm going to say, talk in a circle or talk you into a point, into a corner, to where you basically ended up arguing with yourself. You know, he would say, well, if it's not a heartbeat, what is it? It's a heartbeat. Listen to it. If it's not a heartbeat, what do you call that? And they'd have nothing else to say, and he'd pretty much win his points. But I don't know. I just think it's evil running loose in the world right now. I really do. And we battle not with flesh and blood, but with principalities, spirits, and principalities. That's what it says.
We need to knock the evil out.
No kidding.
I mean, I'm sick of it myself. I'm sick of our elected officials arguing with each other. I'm sick of us not getting anything done. I really don't care who the president is. I don't care who's in Congress or whoever. We're sending you up there to do a job. Go do the job and come home. And I don't care if you get along with Billy Bob from Nebraska or not. But work with Billy Bob when you're in whatever. And let's get this country's in bad shape.
If this doesn't give rise to change, I mean, because I think everybody anywhere can say the loss of a 31-year-old father of two is a shame under any circumstances, for just to be assassinated for what you think or what you want. If both sides can't come together and find common ground on this and use this as a platform to make things quieter, peacefuler, then it never will.
What does it matter whether he's a Democrat or Republican?
Doesn't.
The key issue is what you just said. He's 31 years old with two small kids, and he's just really starting his adult life. So what does it matter what his politics is? What does it matter what his religion is?
Well,
I mean, so he's got the right to, don't we have the right, if I want to be I used to be a Democrat. I don't know that I'm one today as much as I was back in the day. But if I want to be whatever, what difference does it matter?
It doesn't.
What difference does it matter? That's just what that's just where I'm falling at the time. Why can't I see the light and change eventually?
Well, it's like, Dave, it's like anything. The reason people get worried is when one side or the other starts to get traction. You know what I mean? Conservative, it's going on right now. You've got, like, let's just say this gender identity stuff. You know, it's getting traction, obviously. We got it going on all over the place. Boys thinking they're girls or cats or dogs or whatever they're going to identify on. It starts taking ground. Well, what happens? Well, conservatives rise up. Hopefully not physically, but they rise up and they're going to combat it with everything that they can. You know what I mean? I think it's the same thing. He started getting traction. And so liberals that are against what he said feared the traction that he was getting, just like conservatives would fear things that, you know what I mean, that they don't believe in getting traction. And I just think that the left has spent so much time literally demonizing people that when you get one or two fragile psyches or fragile people, they think, he probably thought he was doing the world a favor, based on, depending on what channels you watch. Charlie Kirk was seen as, a huge threat to socialism or any of that stuff. That
I didn't even know this guy.
Yeah.
I had never even, I ain't going to say I hadn't heard of him because that would not be the full truth. I had seen him seen a couple spots on TV, but I had really never paid no big attention to him. I just thought he was somebody that toured college campuses and talked to kids and was some,
Pretty much is. He just carried a big stick when he did. He started. Yeah.
I didn't really realize that going up the food chain, he was pretty high up the food chain.
Yeah.
So that really ain't got anything to do with it. It's got something to do with he's 31 years old with two kids, and we've took somebody, not me, but somebody has cut his life short, and it's senseless.
Oh, it's tragic and senseless. Like I said, you always hope that good comes out of things, and if anything good comes out of this, hopefully it'll be everybody stepping back and taking a breath. Because, you've heard me get mad. I've said things I ought not say on here before. I'm sure I've incited people to be aggravated at other people before. Our media, we're demonizing each other in the media. It just depends on which side you believe, because no matter which side you listen to, the other side is Satan. I mean, That's just where we're at. I mean,
truth.
That's just where we're at. We're calling each other terrible names, saying the other one's going to be the end of the country. Conservatives are saying the same thing as liberals are. Conservatives are worried about, like I said, all this gender stuff and the things that are being taught in school, and they feel like that's the end of the country as they know it. And the liberals are worried that conservatives are coming around and going to lock things down and stop same-sex marriage, whatever they're afraid of. It's just fighting.
Well, you just go back and look at all these years. Let's just take school, for instance, the way we taught school back in the day. And I know things change, and you get a little better. Well, this country really has run fairly well, just to be honest with you, on the way things were. And I don't understand. I don't understand some of the school stuff. I just don't. I don't understand. I'm out of. My radio's not tuned in.
No, I'm completely out of it too. Tracy reminded me too. He was of the LDS, Church of Latter-day Saints. They think differently, not different in killing somebody for sure, but they think differently.
Who's this? The shooter or the
shooter?
Shooter. He's
a Mormon Latter-day Saint. So I'm not sure what that has to do. I guess they have. Well, I don't know. He wasn't a practicing one, or he wouldn't have been killing people. They don't believe in doing that stuff either. So
I wouldn't think that it would be anyway. I just think I just really, for somebody that's really on the outside looking in, that'd be me, and not knowing a whole lot about the situation. I just think it's because somebody was wanting to go to college campus and talk to kids, and didn't care to talk about his religion apparently.
No, he was very proud of his religion.
Very proud of it, and we've decided. We're just going to take his what out, or somebody decided that one person did, and now we're going to argue with it and blame it on this one or blame it on that one. We need to, instead of blaming it, we need to be trying to find a solution. What's the solution in stopping this crap?
Turning the heat down between the two sides. They got to quit calling Donald Trump Satan, and conservatives need to quit calling them socialists and communists.
Here's how I look at what's going on in Washington right now. There'll be a day when the Democrats are back in charge.
Sure, absolutely.
And then after that, there'll be a day when the Republicans are back in charge.
Yes.
And then there'll be a day where both chambers are split, which we just came out of with Biden.
Yep.
So that's just the way the history of this country's been, of how it's worked.
Yeah.
And what if we'd have been arguing for all these years and not getting anything done? Where would this country be today?
We wouldn't be where we're at.
Had some tough conversations across the table, and then when it was over with, we could agree to go out and get a steak, get a hamburger, get a hot dog, whatever, and eat and have a civil conversation and laugh and joke and talk about other things.
Well, Ronald Reagan and Tip O'Neill, you know what I mean? They were like that.
Prime example, man.
Yeah, they fought. They didn't agree on anything politically that I can remember, but they would go to dinner afterwards after they had a huge argument and fight about politics. Then they'd go together and go have dinner. Leave the politics aside. Those days seem like they're long gone. I hope not, but they seem like it when we get up national.
The way it is today, and you did it back then, they'd be throwing fists, man.
Oh, absolutely. You just go to dinner with Donald Trump today. If you're a Democrat, you're exiled out of the party.
You're out of the party.
It's like, I mean, Bill Maher went to dinner with the president. Bill Maher is a funny comedian. I mean, I don't like his politics, but he's funny. Everybody knows he's funny. And he went and just told what happened. He didn't, and they got mad at him. So I don't know. I don't know where we're at with it. I don't know how you cool the temperature down. Like I said, if this doesn't do it, if people really don't see this and don't feel it, then nothing will.
At the end of the month, Trump's term is going to be up. He's going to be out of office. Talking point here. He's going to be out of office. Somebody else is going to go in. Is any of this going to change?
No. With the president?
Yeah, whoever the next president is it going to change? Let's just say everybody says J.D. Vance is going to be the guy. I don't know that that's going to be true. I think the guy that everybody's
Rubio
might be Rubio.
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking.
I think it might be.
That's my thoughts behind it all. I don't know that.
Well, you might see Rubio run for president and Vance as Secretary of State. I think Vance will be involved, but I think it's one of those two guys.
Yeah,
for sure.
I probably
right
agree
now.
with you, but I lean more Rubio than I do Vance just because experience.
Experience, absolutely.
I think Rubio can probably, on the trail, talk it up a little bit better than what Vance. So if it's, I don't understand what we're all worried about. I don't understand. I mean, I don't know why we got to get bloodshot eyes and throw. We're going to kill you, and we're going to do this, and this is all-out war now, and we're going to do this.
Well, that's the fringe. That's the fringe ends. That's the fringe ends talking, though, David. That's what I'm talking about. You know, I've said this a lot. The squeaky wheel always gets the grease, right?
Right.
Always. And when the squeaky wheel is the extreme right or the extreme left, that's all we're looking at. Nobody's looking at people like me and you that pretty much are parked in the middle, you know? Pretty much. You lean more liberal, I lean more Democrat, but at the end of the day, we pretty much follow the same moral code, we believe almost the same. But you and I aren't who people are listening to. They're listening to the extreme right and then saying, here's your example of what's wrong with them, and the extreme left. And then we're saying, here's the example of what's wrong with them. And we're inciting people on the fringe to act. And then, frankly, I think the fringe ends of any party are the crazy part of the party anyway. I really do. I think in the Republicans, your ultra-conservative, MAGA Republicans, I think they are just as much a problem as your ultra-liberal, don't know what if I'm a man, woman, boy, child, or dog. I think they're just as much a problem on the conservative end as they are on the liberal end. I think that it's because they're not of sound mind. I really do. I believe they're very easy manipulated, and they end up thinking they're doing the world a favor by getting rid of Charlie Kirk, which is terrible.
I just think, oh, my God, what's this country come to?
That's it. This is exactly what it's come to. You're looking at it. Like I said, if this don't slow it down, what will? I mean, if shooting a 31-year-old guy with 2 little kids and a young wife who started his business with an idea when he was 17 years old, just with an idea. Could have went to college. And like they said, he could have run in a red district, in Florida or Arizona or any of these districts. He's very well known. He could have picked an open congressional seat and went and moved there and ran and won and could have made policy, but he felt like, he was just out doing his thing. So if this doesn't shake people, then nothing will. I mean, it's one thing if it's never okay, but if he was an elected official and the guy was saying, well, he was going to vote for this, and I was stopping him, you still wouldn't understand it. It still wouldn't be right, but there would be, at least you could say, okay, there's some reason in that madman's mind, at least in his dense
the reason
thinking.
He shot him because he was
going to vote, changing. But this is just a guy talking.
This is a guy talking that has...
Doing the same thing me and you are doing right now. He did the exact same thing me and you are doing right now. And we've debated back and forth, me and you have 1,000,000 times. He does the exact same thing, and they killed him for it. So if this doesn't shake it, nothing will. If we're either going to recoil a little bit. I always talk about how I think politics are like a rubber band, and we stretch it all the way to one side, and it flips back onto the other. Like you're talking about going from Republican to Democrat. Well, if this isn't one of those moments that give us pause to pull us back to the middle a little bit, I don't think we'll ever come back. I think it'll just keep getting worse until we kill each other, I reckon. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with it. But I mean, what can you think of that would slow people down other than that? I mean, I can't think of anything. I mean,
well, if this don't get your attention, what will? I mean, this is about as bad as it is. I mean.
Now, I'm heartened to see, I think 19 or 20 news agencies have fired people from celebrating his death. That's a step in the right direction.
That's low.
Well, I know, but even...
I just really wasn't raised that way. I'm sorry.
No, me neither.
I wasn't raised that way, and I don't care to tell you, my dad was a union guy and a staunch Democrat, and that's what he believed in. And I got no problem with that. I got no problem saying that about my dad. That was my dad. But my dad would have never celebrated somebody going out and killing somebody like this. As he was a Christian man also, but he would have never celebrated. This would have been something he wouldn't have done. He wouldn't have celebrated this because this is not a. If you think this is a good thing, you don't need to be walking on the streets.
Nope.
need to be locked up behind some doors somewhere with padded cells.
Yep.
No medicine.
Because it's sick. The people that think it's okay. And, I ask myself, what is the end all? If they think it's okay to do that, well, what's the end plan? Kill everybody that don't think like you so that everybody left does?
Well,
I mean,
which side's going to be left standing? I'm a better shot over on the Republican side today, so I took me some Democrats out. The Democrat guy said, "No, the better shot." I took more Republicans out than he took Democrats. What we going to do? Kill each other off? Get down to two people left, and then we have a duel.
David, we're probably as close as we've been since the Civil War to a civil war. If you think about it. I mean, think about it for a minute. I mean, we're killing each other. I mean, I don't know how much closer you get without, just all-out war. But, I mean, it feels like we're at a civil war based on, what direction the country's going to be going. And it's the two sides that are fighting are the two extreme sides, the extreme left and extreme right.
I never thought I'd live to see this day.
I didn't think so either.
This day come. There's always been a little arguing about politics, and I've always took that to heart that's just really, we'll argue about politics.
That's part of it.
And then you know what? Sunday I'm gonna sit beside you in church, and everything's fine. And then when politics comes back around 4 years later, we argue a little bit more about it. Still gonna sit beside you in church. Yeah. And I'll probably see you out. Might go out and eat supper with you a time or two and watch a football game. Yeah. You're sitting at the Clinton High School football game on Friday night, and watch a football game or go to a UT game and run into you and talk to you and say, hey, how's it going? But, and we never talk about politics, but we're just climbing on roofs and wanting to snipe out presidents, wanting to snipe out whether it's, reps in Minnesota or whether it's, I mean, my God.
Yeah,
what's this country coming to?
And the folks in Minnesota were Democrats.
Yeah, so what's this country coming to? What are we is this where we want to live?
No, but our leaders, whether it be, we've got a lot of political leaders, civil leaders. We got a lot of people that are out there just spewing hate.
Well, I'm over it.
I'm over it too. I mean, it doesn't help.
I'm over it. I'm over it. I really am over it. I just think it's. I don't know what the right. Well, I know some words I'd like to use, but I won't use them because I'm on the radio. But I'm over it.
Well, I'll tell you this.
I'm over it.
I'm not a squeamish guy, but when they showed, on the news when they were showing the young lady getting stabbed, they'd always stop it. Wouldn't see it. Online, I didn't watch the part of her being stabbed. I didn't see that, but I did see the part afterward where he stabbed her, and she's holding her neck and putting her hand over her face, and everybody's just ignoring her like nothing had just happened. There were like 3 other people sitting there, and they said if somebody would just put pressure on her wound, it could have sustained her long enough to get her help and live. But they did. Everybody just sat there. It's like, you think about it, it's like, what kind of world are we growing up in? We're literally as close to me as you. Somebody gets stabbed, and I just sit here and keep playing on my phone.
No compassion. No compassion for our fellow neighbor or sister. I can tell you this much, and I've seen the whole video on the shot, and it's a brutal shot, man.
Oh, yeah. I saw that, too.
It's brutal.
Yeah, At first, I hoped he would be okay until I watched the shot, and it's brutal. It's brutal. Yeah, he was brutal. He was dead within seconds.
Yeah, he didn't stand that. It didn't really matter. No. It didn't really matter. It was
you know what,
brutal, man. It was brutal.
If you read the Bible, this pretty much is what it says the end days are going to be. It says that we're going to turn. It says we're going to. It talks about Sodom and Gomorrah and the things that they did. And if you look at what happened and why God destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, we're doing about every single thing that they were doing from killing each other to men with men and everything else and the reasons that he gave. That's the stuff that's going on. And it says in the end days that it's going to be like it was then and like it was in the flood times, and we're going to have all this hatred and everything else. So we might be getting close to where the Lord comes back and puts an end to all this. I don't know, but we'll see.
Sure sounds like it.
Well, it sounds like end times. I mean, but people have been saying that, I've said to people, could you imagine being alive during the Crusades when they're going around just killing Christians? You would have said, well, this has to be the end times. They're coming around killing all of us. Surely God's going to come back and fix it. And here we are thousands of years later talking about this. And I don't know if it's signs of the times or not, but I know that there's a whole lot of bad going on, and it doesn't seem like any stopping anytime soon. If this doesn't stop it, you can rest assured it's not stopping anytime soon.
And unfortunately, I don't think it's going to stop.
I don't either.
Unfortunately.
What about locally? We talked a little bit about football. I want to get your opinion on this. I put this up on Thursday or Friday. Did you see where an adult just went into Clinton High School and assaulted one of the students, got into a fight with one of the students? I mean, with the security that we have, and plus the
I don't know how many. And I think you said on the last week. You said on the radio that I think the county mayor's here tomorrow and Russell's here Wednesday.
Yep.
Interesting question to ask Russell is how many SROs are at Clinton High School? Whether it's just one or there's two, because it's a big school like Anderson County.
Mm-hmm.
And if he's in the lunch, I don't know where he was at. Okay.
Sure.
But let's just say he was in the lunchroom, or he was in another part of the building handling a problem.
Yeah.
Or he had to make rounds on the outside, so he's not in. But I asked the question, where do you go in at the high school today? Because I've not been over there.
I go in the front office upstairs.
You go upstairs.
Yes.
So the way I remember it, you tell me if I'm wrong. When you go in, it's just a big area.
Yeah. Oh.
And you walk to some windows.
Mm-hmm.
And you've heard people say, if you could limit that big area and just confine it down where you're confined to like in a box.
Mm-hmm.
And when you come in, you can't go to the left or right. You can't go either way. You're stuck. The only place you can go is forward, take care of your problem, and then back. Somebody would have to go left. Somebody'd have to beep you through a door, left or right, to let you get them down the hallway. So it appears to me that somebody has buzzed them in, flagged them in, and they knew about the school, and they just hightailed it towards the cafeteria.
Well, if you read the officer's report, the girl got it, and there were 4 teenage girls fighting, okay, in one way or another. One of the teenage girls who was involved called their mom after dropping her off, saying she'd gotten into a fight, and asked her mom to come back. And so mom came back. So it didn't really surprise me she got in. It'd be like me buzzing in saying, hey, I'm here to come get James David. James David called me and wants me to come get him. They'd buzz me in. I'd go to the office. They'd go get him and bring him to me. So I am assuming she probably did the same thing, said I'm here to pick up so-and-so, and they let her in. But instead of going and checking her out, she hightailed it down to the cafeteria, because that's where the first confrontation took place. When the SRO officer arrived and went there, they said, yeah, we had a confrontation with her here, but she left. And then he went out and found them, located them. I guess they were pretty easy to find. They were fighting. But, we just came through the school shooting, church/school shooting week before, of kids literally at church, in church pews, getting shot through the windows. So I don't know how you can avoid that. If you can avoid that, she was charged with assault. If they make an example out of it, maybe it'll curb other parents wanting to go in and beat up high school kids. But I don't know how that plays out. That could have been a whole lot worse if she had a weapon, we're already to the point that we're going to fight a kid. So you're already not thinking straight. You know what I mean? You've already got an adult that's already not thinking straight because you're going to fight a kid.
Why not go to the school, get your kid, and then go see the principal or go home? And come back when cooler heads will prevail.
Me and you say that. Me and you say that now, but I've been in situations where I wish my cooler heads would have preveled too.
I probably have too.
Yeah.
But I never have thought that I could just go over to Clinton High School and pop down the daggone hallway and go down to the cafeteria and say, "Hey, boy,
yeah, whoop up on somebody.
I'll whoop up on you.
No, you can't.
You've been messing with my son or daughter, whatever, and I'm not going to stand for it." I might have went over there and went to the principal's office and popped off.
Yeah.
And said, "Let's get this under control." And usually that's the end of it. They get it under control.
Yeah, well, that's depending on who you talk to, and I've talked to some high school students. I mean, there's evidently beef going on between these kids, the 3 or 4 that were involved prior to this happening. This wasn't something new. Evidently, they've been having a beef for a while. So, I don't know. It's just more of the same hatefulness. Nobody's getting shot, but
thank God.
Yeah. Thank God.
We could have had a very tragic situation.
Oh, yeah, that's what I said.
Right here at our back door.
Absolutely. That's
different conversation we're having today.
Whole point. If you went in unimpeded, just walked right through the door. I've never done it, but it would be very easy for me to forget to take a gun out of my back pocket and walk in some. I've done it before. I've walked into places you're not supposed to have a weapon, and I've had it in my back pocket and had to think about it and go back out to the car before, you know what I mean? So, it could have been very easy if they'd have had somebody had a weapon. This be a whole different conversation outside of just tracking down a student and fighting them. So, I don't know. I have complete faith in Robbie Harrell. I do. I think that I think he whatever needs to be done there at high school. He's a Clinton guy. He has a lot of pride in that school and in our school system, and I think he'll do what's right. I will see.
We can't get and I don't know what the right word to use here. We can't get this cloud that's over Clinton High School to leave. I mean, then we hear about.
But why, David?
Then we hear about our ex-principal, having a crash, and
Yeah.
People could say, well, it's a DUI and he could lose his license. Yeah, but the main charge here is not the DUI. The main charge here to me is reckless endangerment. That could carry some jail time.
Is that from where he left the scene or when he left the hospital? Or
because I would assume they've charged him with that because he must have did some bodily injury to somebody on the other side, and he was there's some. It met the criteria to be charged with it. So that could carry some jail time. I don't know how much, but it could. DUI carries jail time, but
sure.
I think it's maybe the first offense is 48 hours or go out on a litter crew.
How does that work, David? Okay, because he didn't have to do that. Well, if he's found guilty, will they make him go serve that 48 hours or whatever it is? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
Yeah, and he'll probably have to take you probably have to watch a video and take a test or do something to get a temporary license if they'll let him have a temporary license. I don't know what his job is today, but, this cloud that's over Clinton High School, we got to get this cloud out of here.
Well, as well as I do why.
Robbie seems to be working really hard to get it out.
Robbie works for the school board. The school board works for the superintendent. Robbie doesn't have any more power than Tim gives him, period. So he can do as good or as little as this school board allows him. And if people are pissed at the school, you need to focus your attention to Dr. Parrott and the school board because it all runs downhill, guys. And if you want to know why this cloud is still there, it's because our school board dilly-dallied around and tried to cover up, hide up, and minimize what was going on in this grade-changing scandal. And people are tired of you pissing on us and telling us it's raining. It's not, Dr. Powers. It's not. The bottom line is, or Dr. Parrott, the bottom line is this: we haven't resolved what went on with it. Nobody's been held accountable. 2 teachers out of thousands and thousands of grades, and many other teachers that did the same thing. That's why there's a cloud hanging because nothing's been fixed.
I think they would tell me and you, well, we have taken care of it. We fired some people. We didn't hire. We changed administrations. We got rid of all these people, but
the only thing that they've done, the only thing that they've done that I've seen that has caused great improvement is by bringing in Robbie Harrell. I'm 100% on board with that. I can't tell you anything else that they've done. Maybe you can educate me. Maybe Dr. Parrott will want to call in and educate me, or maybe Dale Cantrell, one of these people that have made their life on the school board, screwing up the schools. Well, maybe they want to call in and tell us. But as it is right now, until you make changes there and institute the changes, you're getting the same thing, same old thing. They put a different traffic cop in there as far as the principal. Robbie's in there. He's better than what we had, but I mean, he's just one person. And again, he don't make the rules. He enforces the rules that our school board makes that comes down. So say what you want to. You've talked to people that were involved in the legal situation. For one, the school board did wrong by not turning it over to law enforcement once they learned it was a criminal matter in the first place. They tried to go through and minimize as much as they could before they ever brought it forward. And the only reason they brought it forward is they were basically told, if you don't go take this information that I've delivered to you, I'm taking it to the press, which is what ended up happening, because they still ended up trying to set on it. And that's why I knew about it. That's why the people came to me, because the school board and them were not going to do anything about it. And if I hadn't broke it on April 14th, me and you wouldn't have known about it today. They'd have lied about it, hid it, and buried it under the table.
I didn't know anything about it, period, until people started calling me about it and telling me all about it. You know, this is going on, until they fired Coach Keith. And
yeah,
I got to really looking into it and got to trying to get both sides. You know, as Paul Harvey used to say, there's two sides to every story.
Absolutely.
And, that's why I was as big a fighter for Coach Keith to get his license back and get his life back, because I really feel like we done Coach Keith wrong.
We did. You can't have it both ways.
I really feel like somebody needs to stand up and apologize to Coach Keith.
We both have said that, because
I'm not afraid to say that. I'm not afraid to say that, or do I fear for anything? What can you do to me, man? You know, look, I'm an older man now, and I ain't in really good health, and what can you actually do? What can you actually do to make my life worse than what it already is?
No.
Just to be serious. I mean, seriously.
I ain't gonna do nothing.
We did Coach Keith wrong, and for the man to call my good friend and say, "Hey, tell you guy, if he wants to back off, I understand. I don't want anything to happen to him." Happen to me? Who's going to do something to me?
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Why can't I? I just don't. I think Coach Keith he's a good guy. I think he's a good Christian man. I think he's good. He was good for our community. He was good for the kids. I've not heard any kids that say they hated Coach Keith.
Coach Keith tell you that Dr. Parrott told him that he had cast a gray cloud over Clinton. He cast a cloud.
Where? It's not. It was proven wrong.
I know, but you know that's fact.
I know
that was said. I confirmed that with Dr. Parrott. That happened in the beginning with the grade change. That's what I was told. Well, then I got information that said Coach Keith was not involved in grade changing. Coach Keith played a player that wasn't supposed to play, an eligible player, and that's why he got fired. Well, then when Robbie went in, Robbie went through it and said, no, we didn't play an eligible player. So Coach Keith didn't do that. Further, it would have then been our athletic director who was our athletic director.
We had somebody else. I don't remember who it was.
It wasn't Josh.
It wasn't Josh.
It was Nate. It was Nate, and we had athletic directors.
We had two of them.
Yeah.
I ain't never figured that out neither.
Well, it was their job. That's the athletic director's job of eligibility. That's who alerts the coach. That's, you know what I mean? That's, the coach is already doing a number of different things as far as teaching a class or coaching, whatever else they do. And when I looked into this, it's the athletic director's responsibility to make sure kids are eligible, not the coaches. So if he played an ineligible player, if he did so without knowing it, it's not even his responsibility to know it. It was the athletic directors.
Now, from what I remember about,
but that we didn't.
The head football coach has a list or has a sheet, and he puts everybody's name on this sheet that's participating in football.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he turns that sheet in, this sheet might be something from TSSAA. He turns that into the athletic director, and then the athletic director is supposed to verify that everybody on that list is eligible through whatever semester or ever how it runs, that they're eligible.
Yeah.
And then when it comes back up again, they run them again and decide after semester's over with, did everybody cut the mustard again and everybody's still eligible, or is David Queener not eligible to play the last 2 games of the year because he failed 2 classes and he's not eligible? So if it does fall on the athletic director, it doesn't fall on the coach's job is to get it turned in, and it sounds to me like Coach Keith got it turned in, and then it's the athletics director's job to call the coach and say, hey, Ron Meredith and David Queener cannot play Friday night until they get this situation straightened out in English.
Yes, I agree. But it ended up that wasn't the case either.
That wasn't the case either.
Yeah. So we didn't have that. He didn't.
So you had 2 situations, a grade changing thing going on. At the same time, they were blaming him for playing an illegal player, and the illegal player might have had something to do with the grade changing situation, and it just got caught up all in the wash.
So you're as murky on it as I am. Did Coach Keith change grades?
And I say no.
Did Coach Keith play an ineligible player?
I say no.
Well, see, then Anderson County School Board owes him an apology, because at the very least they've certainly cast doubt over his character for doing it. At the very least,
for a whole year, the man couldn't work.
Yeah, I know.
It's just BS.
I know.
It's just BS. It's just how I feel about it. And
if people,
like I said, what are you going to do to me? I mean, besides, yell and scream at me, maybe.
Look, this is what I'll say.
Hell, take me out as I go to the truck, I guess.
If people of Anderson County are okay with what happened with the grade changing scandal throughout Anderson County, because, again, school board's still the school board, school superintendent's still the school superintendent, the peons that they could get rid of, they fired to cover up their tracks, got rid of some people. But if everybody's happy with that, you're okay with grade change, and you're okay, people all over the world understanding that we change our kids' grades when they don't make it for themselves because we want to get rid of the bad ones. That's a quote. And then we help the ones that we want to give help to. If you're okay with that, keep your school board, keep your school superintendent.
Man, if I was running, that'd be a great thing to run on.
Well, I'm telling you, I'd be
preaching from the rooftop.
I'm telling you.
And I'd be screaming it loud.
I would too, and hopefully someone will.
I don't know if it will or not. So
again, and you know what? I know everybody on the school board. I know every single person on there. And I don't think, with very few exceptions, maybe one exception, is there anybody on there that I have any kind of beef with, or you know what I mean? I like everybody. I get along with everybody for the most part. There's one person that I have question with, but I don't have any counteraction with them, so it doesn't matter. But I'm not saying this because I think they're bad people or whatever. I just think sometimes it runs its course. When you've been on school board for 44 years, it's time to move on. School's different than it was 44 years ago. I'm not saying calling for term limits or anything else. I'm just saying, we've ran into some problems, and the very least we could do is bring new faces in to fix these problems that have been there a while, problems that are still there, problems that I don't think have been fixed. I mean, we still have the same procedure that the kids went through to do credit recovery. I mean, they've tightened it up a little bit, but I mean, still there. I'm not saying it's getting taken advantage of now, because I think Robbie's keeping an eye on it.
I think people think being on the school board's just a joke. Well, they don't really understand how hard it is to be on the school board.
I was going to say, better than that. There's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, and you have to, you have to do more to be on the school board than you do to be a county commissioner or a city councilman.
Well, you've told me numerous times you enjoyed being on the school board.
I did.
More than you enjoyed being a city councilman.
I get to look and see the fruits of my labor, that I helped fight for and campaign for. I get to see them every day. I just read an article in the Clinton Courier that Clinton City Schools is a level 5 again this year. What an honor.
Yeah.
I think we got one of, I don't care to go to the rooftop for this lady, neither, Kelly Johnson. I think we got one of the best school superintendents around here. I'll argue with you until you take me out that she's one of the best. And I think she is.
I agree.
And she works hard. To make sure that we're one of the best, and that they take care of her.
She cares for our kids before she cares for anything. She's got a heart for children.
I had to learn the hard way about being on the school board. I learned real quick like when people say, "Hey, let's run for the school board, man. You can make a difference. You can make a change." yeah, you can make a change, but not as fast as you think you can, because you're one vote.
Well,
and the best vote I ever made was making the motion to hire Kelly Johnson as Clinton City School school superintendent. I'll go to my grave with that and smile the whole way, Ron.
No, I don't think anybody would debate you. I think anybody that's had a kid in Clinton City schools, that's went through Clinton City schools, dealt with Clinton City schools, has the same opinion as you and me both. I mean, my opinion is not formed because of how good a job Kelly's doing or anything else. My opinion is formed solely by my children's experience and the issues. You know, they had problems growing up through school, but the way that they handled them, the way that they dealt with problems, the way that they dealt with progress, you know, how they encourage the kids, how they, you know, it's Clinton City Schools is a very, very good school system. We're lucky to have it.
So I go to sixth grade graduation every year.
Mm-hmm.
I have for a while. And, you know, my granddaughter was a sixth grader eventually and graduated, went on. And I always ask, you know, from the first time Vicki Violet had me there, and I spoke at that graduation. And I watched those teachers on the stage, and I watched them cry their eyes out. And I said to Vicki, I'm not coming next year. This is too emotional.
They do.
My God, it's emotional.
It is emotional.
So after Kelly Johnson became director, she said, you come into sixth grade. And I said, well, are they going to make me cry?
Probably.
She said, well, maybe. I said, yeah, I'll be there. But it's just so emotional to watch those principals and watch those teachers that's poured their heart and soul into these kids since kindergarten. And bless you, buddy.
Thank you.
And you just watch, and you could see how much they care for these kids, and how invested they are in them. And I'm not saying there's other teachers. It's not as you get on up in middle school and high school. But man, you know, I'm proud of Kelly Johnson. I'm proud of her staff. I'm proud of her teachers. I think we got some of the best. And I'm sure there's people on Anderson County School Board think they got some of the best too. They probably shouldn't be on there if they don't think that way. But that's how I always went. When I went to these meetings, I was always proud to say, yeah, I represent Clinton City Schools.
Sure.
I had no problem doing that. And I could look you dead in the eyes and tell you, I'm from the best school system in the state of Tennessee, bud.
Sure.
You can't beat our school system. I don't care who you are, whether it's Oak Ridge, Maryville, whoever. I'm from the best school system in the state of Tennessee.
I agree. And if folks that have experienced the kids going through Clinton City Schools, I think will.
I know we're a small district. I know it's small, and I know it's only K through 6. And they say, well, it'd be so different if it was bigger. Well, if it'd be so different, why did you fight so hard to keep us from doing it?
I wish we'd do it.
Why did you fight so hard? Why did you come and say it's going to be devastating for us? But in return, you'd say you can't do it because it's different.
Yeah.
Why not give us the chance to do it? Okay? But you fought so hard, tooth and nail, to keep us from doing it.
You know I'm for it.
You want to get me fired up? Get me fired up on that right there. That's enough to get you fired up. It's just an unfortunate situation. We just didn't have the money. It was just to do it.
To do it the right way.
Do it the right way. It was going to be millions and millions and millions of dollars.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what it would be today to build a school just to hold 7th and 8th graders.
Well, they're building new Claxton Elementary School out there. What's it, $30-40 million?
Okay, that's about.
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
21 million, I think.
21.
To build one school.
Thank you.
It was 20. That's us. That was 21 million to build another elementary school back in the day. And when I went on the school board, we didn't have no money.
Yeah.
We were financially barely hanging on, just like the city was financially barely hanging on. And that's all changed today. Everybody's in
good shape.
Prior school boards and city councilmen have worked hard to get us on sound terms and some good management. And we're there today. And I'm proud to say that. I've been a part of Clinton City, and whether it's on the police department or whether it's on the school board, and I wouldn't take nothing for my time on the school board I learned to get a lot of respect for a lot of people.
Sure.
I learned real quick, like just seeing the hard work that they done and things like that, and I got a lot of respect real quick, like I knew real quick like I didn't want to be a school teacher.
I get it.
You got me?
I got you.
I didn't want to be a school teacher, just like they didn't want to be a police officer. And but I appreciate the job that Kelly Johnson does, and I think she does a fantastic job. And like I said, I'm a big cheerleader, man. She ain't got, and she knows that.
Sure.
She ain't got a bigger cheerleader than David Quainer. I'll go to my grave, and don't be shocked when I die if she ain't a speaker at my funeral.
Let me ask you this, more local stuff, get your opinion on. Claxton, the park out there. There's been all kinds.
I don't know nothing about that.
There's been all kinds going on. You don't have any. You don't.
I really, it's a park that we've been in a. Am I wrong when I say this? And I'm going to go just from what I've watched at county commission meetings in the past and what I've read in the Courier.
Okay.
Are we in a joint venture with TVA on this?
Yes.
And this is TVA property.
Yes.
Was there it's like us, and it's like the fair. The fair don't have a 30-year contract with the fairgrounds. We have a lifetime contract. What did TVA give us? A 25-year contract, a 2-year contract, a lifetime contract? I'm sure tomorrow.
Somebody will. I'll find out.
I'm sure tomorrow the mayor will tell you, or if Tracy's here with her, he'll tell you, or somebody will tell you, and you'll get a straight, honest answer. So, are we at the wheel that, at the beckoning of TVA, at any time they could call the contract, call it in. Yeah. It's over. So it's a park that I know just from hearing Jasper talk about it up here the other day. He's passionate about it.
Absolutely.
He worked hard to get it for the Claxton community. For the kids to have some place to.
We all helped raise money. You know what I mean? Wimp was up here then. We helped raise money. And
that's what I'm saying.
We
so
all
he's
did.
Passionate about it. So it's a passionate situation.
Yeah.
So I didn't even know I knew we had some controversy coming up that they were going to have to tear it down, move it, or do something. But what happened? Is there a slide that was?
There was a slide that they say was damaged, and they sent folks out to take it down, take the slide off. One of the commissioners has said, and as far as I know, continues to say, there's some kind of lawsuit, but I have not been able to find anything. That a kid got hurt.
Couldn't we have just done, put some tape up?
That's why I said some duct tape.
Some tape to do it until we somebody could have got a part order, or, I don't know. It's once again, it's a hindsight thing. I don't know nothing about it, so I don't want to get in the mud too much here and tick a bunch of people off. I don't really know what I'm even talking about. Even though I'll say this, I know that there's always people down there. When you go by, you always see a bunch of cars, and and I know there's a lot of people that's been out there and utilized the park, and it's been something that's really been a great fixture for the community out there to have that park out there. And I always sort of felt fortunate that the TVA given the property and the location to have the park.
Sure.
I don't know too much about the inner workings of any.
Well, I just said this. I said if TVA is calling the lease, if TVA wants it taken down, let them take it.
Let TVA take it down.
Let them be the bad guys. You know what I mean?
Run the park and let TVA put TVA police out there and tell you, hey, you're trespassing. You no longer could come on this property.
That's what I would do.
And then you decide whether you want to go to jail and understand one thing. When you do that, it's federal. It's not going to Russell's jail.
Yeah.
It's going to Knoxville.
Yep.
You're going to federal court. It's handled a little bit different.
Yep.
So that's my opinion on it. Let TVA tear it down.
And I'm like you, what's the lease? Because a lease supersedes a purchase.
So if the lease is 25 years, I'm sure we've run the 25-year gamut on it, maybe.
I reckon.
Maybe it's time to TVA's decided, hey, we're not going to renew the lease, and we got to sit down and do something different. Well, what's different? I've heard there's money involved. I don't know if there's money involved. Somebody that's on county commission would have to,
I know that they've given us some money for a new one.
If there's a county commissioner out here, if Robert McCamey's listening today, call in, Robert. Tell us if we got money out here. Tell us, do you know what the lease is? Does somebody know what the lease is? Or maybe you'll get the answer tomorrow with the county mayor out here.
I'll ask.
So
no, I'm sure she'll be ready to answer the questions about it. And I think people need to know, because a bunch of people raised money, a bunch of families sponsored those pavilions.
Well, if I'd have raised money, I would want to know what the deal is too.
Sure.
And I think those people deserve an answer.
Absolutely.
Whether they like the answer or not, they deserve an answer.
I agree.
Here's what the deal is. Our lease is up, and we've got to tear it. We're going to either have to take it down and move it and find a place, or we got to tear it down and get rid of it. But we're no longer going to be able to use that spot. I think but what's TVA going to use it for?
I don't know. That was my
Parking
next
lot?
question. What are they going to do?
What are they going to do with it? They're tearing the facility down over there and going a different route. What's it going to be?
I don't know.
What's just one little spot? Why not just give it to us?
That's what I thought. And the only thing I could think of is because of the coal ash, because there's something in there that they're still worried about.
I will say this. I would be really shocked if the county mayor's not trying to get it. I would also be really shocked if Tracy Wandell's not working his you-know-what off trying to get it.
Yeah, he is.
Big Claxton guy, and I would just be shocked if they're not trying to resolve this situation.
Well, I don't know who in their right mind would want to take down a park. I mean, it's one of the few that we've got over there.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out a way to get more.
Yeah, that's, so I don't know. A lot of folks were aggravated saying that the county was trying to take down or dismantle the park. And then when I looked into it, and I talked to more than one commissioner, told me that another commissioner had stated to the body that there was legal issues coming because the equipment was in disarray. There was a broken place on the slide and the kid had got hurt. But to my knowledge, none of that, I have not been able to find anything about anybody getting hurt over there or anybody filing a lawsuit over there or county paying for anybody's doctor appointment or anything over there.
Let's just fix it. Let's get it fixed.
Yeah, put a new slide on. That's what I said. I said, how much is a dang new slide? I'll put a new slide on it.
Let's go out and raise some money.
$200.
Raise some money and get a new slide and fix it temporary. But maybe they decided, well, we can't fix it because we're not going to be there anymore. I don't know.
Well, it's like I said.
Interesting tomorrow to hear what the answers are, and I'm sure County Mayor can answer those questions. She's probably on top of it, and she might be able to answer your other questions about whether somebody got hurt or there's a law. Do
you want to see if anybody's got any questions before we get up to noon?
Yeah, but what I want to do is let me just say one thing about citywide.
Go ahead.
We've got the town tore up right now.
Yes, sir.
It's not like we told you it wasn't going to happen. So
I think everybody's being pretty patient.
To a certain extent, yes. And I don't know that I think I've not talked to JB or Roger recently. I think our expansion on our pickleball court is done.
Ooh.
And so we've got our pickleball court expanded. As you very well know, we finally got that headache pool open. And a lot of people it was a pain in the hiney.
I know.
But a lot of people did enjoy it at the end. We had a lot of people, a lot of visitors, and come in, and I was, we just keep digging, man. We're just don't look at the mess right now. Imagine what it can be. Shut your eyes and say, what can it be? Because your people said, let's turn Market Street into this or that. And in order to do that, we got to make these changes. Well, I think there's some good things coming from Market Street.
Oh, yeah.
I just want our businesses to hold on and do the best you can. And listen, if you're out here listening to me somewhere, whether it's on the internet or whoever, and I know there's a million ways to listen to WYSH right now. Market Street is open.
Open.
Our stores are open.
Yes.
You might have to go in a back door. You might have to go around a barricade. Be careful.
I had friends here last week from Phoenix. They came down here, came in from Phoenix, were visiting me. Their mom and dad live in Campbell County, my friend Scotty. And they came down and went, they said, we're going to go to downtown. I said, let me tell you how to handle this. Go around the back parking lot. Had navigated them through, but they went downtown, went in the back, and went shopping for some antiques. So
it's going to be
still open.
It's going to be all right. We're going to be all right. Yeah, we'll take questions. Go ahead, buddy.
All right. If anybody's got any questions for David, 865-457-1380. Anything we've forgotten to ask, you call in and ask anything about the city or whatever you'd like to ask. But do so right now. We'll be back here in about 2 minutes, and we'll take your calls. We'll come back and see what we've got to wrap up on, and we'll go home. Yeah.
Hey, Ball family. This is Sterling Pearl Hinton. That's right, DJ Sterling Pearl. Tune in every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. for the Pizza Express Tuesday Night Sports Talk with Jasper Young and Walt Stair here at WYSH.
Need
Need a waste solution that's as flexible as you are? Look no further than Coker Waste Solutions. Whether it's a small home project or a major construction site, we've got you covered with our 15, 20, 30, and 40-yard containers. Enjoy flexible rental periods, plus convenient pickup and delivery. We're committed to making waste management hassle-free. Visit cokerwaste.com or call 865-320-0018. Coker Waste Solutions, located at 2305 Clinton Highway in Powell, across from Claxton Elementary School. cokerwaste.com.
Get ready for summer and lake season at Hammer Stores. Every week, there are new shipments of ladies' famous label sportwear and men's branded clothing. Ladies and girls' boutique fashions are 25% off Hammer's regularly low marked price. Check out new arrivals for summer from Simply Southern and our largest selection ever of men's fishing apparel from Huck, Magellan, Real Life, and Habit. We have just received truckloads of short sleeve printed tees from several famous makers that can outfit the entire family for the coming warmer months. Enjoy hot deals on men's shirts, swim trunks, and shorts from famous makers like Worldwide Sportsman, Columbia, Johnny O, Simply Southern, and many, many more. Beat the heat with all-terrain gear, pants, and shorts from Wrangler at all-time low prices. Continue your spring cleaning and save now on a truckload sale of throw rugs and area rugs. Also, visit Hammer's Facebook and Instagram for daily deals. If you miss a day, you miss a bargain at Hammer's, Clinton, Sevierville, Wartburg, Hall, and Newcastle.
Two Hammers, you should see us now.
Hi, I'm Michael from the Warren Treaty. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. Only Novo Nordisk makes FDA-approved Ozempic. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5 milligram, 1 milligram, and 2 milligrams.
A Progressive Home and Auto Bundle can protect you round the clock, but we can't protect you from those painful moments in sports.
I can't believe they're moving the team to another city.
True, but you'll never forget all the joy they brought into your life.
Joy? They made the playoffs twice in 50 years.
Gosh, those 2 times were pretty great, weren't they?
How would I know? I wasn't even born yet.
Just think of all the free time you'll have on game days.
Those games were the highlight of my week.
Well, at least your home and auto are protected with a bundle from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
More fiber and laxatives, eh?
Who are you?
I'm future you.
Future me?
Constipation with belly pain still coming back? Our doctor figured it out. It's irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C. And Linzess could help you get ahead of it.
Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
I guess no news is good news. No calls, no questions, no turmoil. Anything else you'd like to share before we call her a day?
No, I appreciate you, as always, giving me the opportunity to come up and run my big mouth and talk for just a few minutes. I enjoy coming up and being able to talk whatever we talk, whether it's sports. And it's evident that Mike Henderson is still asleep.
Yeah, Mike is definitely still asleep.
He's still asleep.
He'll call tomorrow and want to know what we talked about.
Yeah, that's all, and you tell him.
I will.
David said I couldn't tell you. And if you want to know,
get up.
You just get up and listen the next time he's on. You can get up and listen to see what we talk about. But it's evident that Mike Henderson is still asleep.
As far as stuff going on in the city, I saw too. They've started for the traffic light down at Mariner Point. They started digging.
I got out. I've been sort of laid up, man. I had a little surgery and got laid up and had to stay off my foot for a little while, and then my wife got something and she gave it to me, and it about took me out too. And it's just damn one thing.
Yeah, one thing or the other. I got you.
It's just one thing after the other, And I got out last night and I was riding around just to check to see how bad the streets are, and people can't act like we didn't tell them.
No.
We've been telling them for a year this is going to happen. But I did ride down Mayor's Point last night, and I thought, what in the world's going on here? Oh, yeah, traffic light.
They're digging out for the light. So.
Digging out for the light. So, yeah, it's something else. It's,
progress.
We've tried to get it done for years. And
I know it's one of the things that I talked about doing in 2009. So I know it's been going on since at least, you've been talking about it since 2009.
Buddy, you just got the right city councilman in there.
That's
and he got it done. And,
that's what I was telling Tracy. I said, David said he's going to take one more shot at it. It just so happened the guy had retired that could help us and got all the buttons pushed right, him and Roger.
We got the buttons pushed. It just worked out. It was just the right timing. It never had been the right timing before. And, it just happened to work out. And,
overall in the city, we're doing pretty good, aren't we, Dave?
We are.
I think so.
All I've got to come up here and really talk about is progress.
Mm-hmm.
We're making progress.
Yeah.
We're doing things we're making Market Street better. And there's businesses coming to Market Street that people's wanted, along with our antique district. So when people's always said, well, if we go shopping down there, we don't have nothing to keep us down there.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have a place to go eat.
We're working on it.
It's being worked on. So that's things people have wanted.
Yeah. Oh, I can go back. I've got the plans in my closet this very moment. The mayor's commission, walked in Clinton's 21st century, and all of that in 2008 and 2009, 2007, 8, and 9. Had the revitalization plans for Market Street was a big part of it. So it's taken a long time to get done, but there have been a lot of people asked for it over the years and worked for it over the years to get it to where it is right now that y'all could do it.
I didn't ask the last time, but I will ask this next time for City Council. I'll ask JB and I'll ask Roger both. I know somebody asked, it was you, I think, about the skate park.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if we've got room over. I know we got room. I know there's we got some property that was given to us over there that we've got some plans for the future to make out. Maybe we could put a skate park over there and have a skate park over there that would allow to have a skate park.
Meredith boys would love you.
Listen, I'm only saying this. We're not looking to tear our parks down. We're looking to expand them.
Mm-hmm.
We want to make them bigger and better.
There you go.
We got people utilizing their parks. I really enjoy going by and see all the kids that are playing baseball or softball
or pickleball.
Them not kids.
No, there's
adults. Older kids. I enjoy that. Hearing people say, "Man, we love our pickleball courts. Could we just get some more?
Yeah.
We need more." And so we finally we're getting it expanded out, and I'm gonna have to ride down there right now when I leave here just to see. I think if I looked right last night, it looked like there was people playing pickleball. So I think we're open and we're back in business again.
Good.
So that'd be a good thing, but that's it.
That's
we don't really have. Once again, if all you're talking about is really your blue garbage can,
we're doing all right.
But the garbage thing's really just been a pain, man. It's just.
That's one of those little things that every single person in the city deals with. Everybody deals with garbage, so you're gonna hear.
Don't think that you don't realize how big an issue it is until it is an issue.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, anytime I think you deal with something that every single person deals with, it'd be like dealing with grocery stores. You got to do. Everybody has to buy food to eat, so you're dealing with everybody. You're dealing with everybody in the city and their garbage pickup. And if it's not on time or leave the cans halfway down the road. I took a picture of mine the other day because I've got two. One was at my driveway, and one was halfway between mine and Buddy's house, my neighbor's house. It's probably 30 yards down the road. I was like, all right. I don't know how they do that, but they did. It doesn't bother me. That don't.
I don't understand that neither, but they do it. But as long as they're picking it up, I guess we'll just have to.
We'll deal with the rest.
We'll deal with it. We'll let somebody come down and move it back to your driveway so you don't have to do it. But maybe the mayor would come down there and but no, we don't have cities in good shape right now.
As long as they pick mine up, I don't mind where they put the can. I'll go get the can as long as they take the garbage.
The can, can't you?
Yeah, I can move the can. It's the garbage that bothers me.
But I appreciate you allowing me to come up
anytime.
Rub my mouth, man, and I'll see you next month.
We'll do it again on the third Monday of the month. Let me see what day that's going to be so I make sure. That will be on the 20th of October. David will be back here So if there's anything between now and then, you
wonder
need
if
to
Mike
find out.
Hendrickson will be up then.
I doubt it. It'll be cooler weather. He sleeps in, the cooler it gets.
So Mike Hendrickson, you missed it this morning. Great show, buddy.
You guys
we
let him
wanting your
know.
participation, but you never got to wait to call in.
All right, guys, enjoy yourself. I hope you guys will stick around here, and we'll be back here in just a little bit. Great classic hit country music. As if all that wasn't enough, stay tuned tonight. Trading Time Prime Time. I believe Melissa will be in here. Either Melissa or Cookie be in here one. We'll get you all taken care of on that tonight. Trading Time Prime Time happens at 6 o'clock. In the meantime, enjoy yourself and stick around. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you for listening to AM 1380 WYSH and Ask Your Neighbor. Make sure you tune in at 10 a.m. each day, Monday through Friday, right here on AM 1380 WYSH and BBB TV 12, or listen